let me get this right. You were a veteran and you got hit up by another veteran and you took that veteran out of a VA loan application situation and put him into an FHA loan, right?
Yes, sir.
What the heck? That's unusual. You better have a good reason. Tell me what happened. You better have a good reason.
So with doing what they were trying to do was a veteran and non-veteran VA loan. So they would have had to bring about 14% to closing, which would have been about $60,000-$70,000, and then also pay off a $25,000 vehicle because they have the veteran alone has to be able to qualify for half of the loan and fall under DTI guidelines for the VA because the VA has to approve all veteran and non-veteran loans. And that it just made no sense to have them bring that much to closing, right? So I ran all the numbers and let them know, like, hey, you can qualify for a VA loan, but we're going to have to get you into a less expensive house, or you have the option of going FHA, and then you only have to bring 3.5 to closing. And
yeah, significant. And like, I'm sorry, I'm guessing that was what, $14,000 or $15,000 as opposed to 60,000, give or take.
Yeah. So, and you don't have to pay off the car. So now you're not having to bring in an extreme amount to closing, and you're not having to pay off a vehicle that has no reason to pay it off. And so I explained to them the numbers of the FHA loan, and they decided that they were going to try with the same house and go the FHA route. So I was like, all right, let me reach out to the realtors and see what we can do. So I reached out to their realtor because this was all over a 2-day time span.
So if I may interject, sorry to interject for a second. As I recall, when this is going out, this veteran had been in contract for darn near 3 months when you came on the scene. Is that right?
Correct. And the fact that they got the extensions for that long was insane. And also, by the time I got involved, the realtor had let the contracts lapse. So they actually weren't in any legal contract anymore. The seller of the house could have put the house back up as a listing, kept their earnest money, and gone about their day, and it would have been no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Just to hone in on this a little bit more before you tell us about the conversation with the agent. So, again, we're not trying to throw any lender under the bus, but it just seems off that the lender would have forced that kind of structure of the pre-approval. Hey, you got to come in with $60,000 plus pay off a $25,000 debt. And then it dragged on for 3 months. It sounds like a lack of communication. Why wasn't there any closure, aside from the fact that there wasn't the suggestion to go a different route, even though VA is a better loan than FHA? At least this other route gets them into the home, right? It just seems a little off.
Yeah, so I obviously I can't speak for how they were thinking, but I think it was just kind of a lack of, or a whole bunch of ignorance. Maybe not understanding how the VA loan worked. Maybe at the beginning they didn't realize that they would have to get the approval through the VA for covering half of the mortgage. Maybe they thought it was like FHA, to where you can combine the incomes and it's not split like that. And then maybe they just got in so deep that they were afraid to, go, hey guys, this isn't going to work. We have this option. I'd like to try it. But I'm all about being honest with my buyers. If I mess up something, or if something changes, I'm going to tell you when it happens, because if I'm buying a house, I don't want any surprises going on. I want to know what's happening with my money, with my house, with what's going on. So
when you call the agent, how did that conversation go? I'm curious.
It went a little rocky. So she's young, and that's okay. But she was very thrown off by the situation. She didn't know who I was, where I came from, why I'm randomly in this situation. And so explaining to her what's going on, how her buyers are feeling, and that they're going to switch lenders over to me because their lender clearly isn't doing what they need to do. They're not going to get the approval from the VA. It was not going to happen. The VA was
Mm.
not going to approve this loan. And
Again, to reiterate, because the veteran could not qualify for his half of the loan. He just didn't have the income to do it.
correct.
And that's what happened. Did you break it to the agents in no uncertain terms that there was never a world in which this veteran was going to qualify for his half of the loan, and this never should have been put together as a joint VA loan? You communicated that to them, and if so, what was their reaction?
So there wasn't any uncertain terms. I made that very blunt. um, and I had even reached out to the VA regarding the situation, and they made it clear that at the current DTI and the income level, they weren't going to approve it. It wasn't going to happen. So
Hmm,
I did. I broke it down to them, and neither of them were very happy. They were like, "Well, this lender, they said it's clear to close already on their end. They're just waiting for the VA approval." I was like, "A lender can have anything clear to close all day long, but that does not
hmm,
mean that the VA is going to
hmm.
approve it." So yeah,
Yeah.
I can say they're clear to close tomorrow. That doesn't mean the VA is going to go, "Oh, yeah, since you have it clear to close, sure, go ahead, do the loan that doesn't qualify." And
That's
so
crazy.
they
Wow.
they weren't very thrilled about that situation, but I think they finally
Yeah.
realized that if they were going to sell slash buy this house, I was their only
Hmm,
option because I was the only person that had any clue
hmm.
what was going on. Um,
Wow.
because the lender also wasn't communicating very well, and that was part of the problem with that both
Hmm,
agents were having, is the
hmm,
lender wasn't communicating the timeline, what was actually going on. They just kept going,
hmm.
"Oh, we're just waiting for the VA to get back to us. It's just going to take a couple more days. It's just going to take a couple more days." And the day never came. So,
And it never would have gotten approved. So you guys
exactly.
flipped to FHA and you closed. I mean, you had to have got a new appraisal, right? I would think.
Yes.
And then you
So
closed how fast? Mhm.
we had a 9-day clear to close.
That's
I got
amazing.
the
Wow.
appraisal and everything done, all beautiful and wonderful,
Mm,
in 9 days. The only reason we didn't
wow.
close in 9 days is because one of the buyers had a trip back home and she was
Mm,
gone. She was gone for 4 days. So we had to wait a couple more days before actually signing the papers. But their um lease actually ended on the end of that month. So I was hellbent that they were going to close before the end of the month. I was not about to have them homeless. I was not about to have them in an Airbnb.
mm,
Nothing.
mm.
They were getting into their house, and we got them
Yeah.
signed, sealed, delivered at 7 o'clock that night, and made sure that they did not go one day without having a roof over their head.
You're a darn hero. I mean, that was heroic what you pulled off, and the fact, I wanna take a minute here. Knowledge, it makes a difference, right? It's what you know, and the
Yeah.
fact that you've taken the time to perfect your craft, your VA guidelines, and instantly you could tell, "This ain't gonna work. These numbers they're not gonna work." And then you took action. You took control of the transaction for the veteran.
Yeah. And I made sure that every day, and the processor that I was working with was absolutely phenomenal. She stayed up with me night and day, was up early in the morning, up late at night. We were both working on this almost
Mm.
20 hours a day to make sure it was done, to make sure that
Oh,
they
wow.
didn't go homeless for
Wow.
even a minute.
What was, uh, what was the reaction when it was all said and done? The veteran's got his keys. What was the reaction from the realtors, from the title company? What was their
So
reaction?
the realtors and the title company both said that they have never seen a loan get closed this quickly, and that they don't
Wow.
think that
Great.
the house would have ever even closed if I hadn't gotten involved. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the thanks from the family, like, I'm tearing up right now because
Mm,
I couldn't believe that they were, after such a long time of trying to get in this home,
mm,
that they were finally going to be in their home, and
mm.
now they're happy. They have this gorgeous, beautiful house. They're a beautiful little family,
Yeah,
and I just
yeah.
I'm
That's awesome.
it
Yeah.
it was
Kudos
a
to you.
lot, and there
Kudos
was
to
a
you,
lot of
and
emotions going on, and
yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you, this is so heartwarming to hear because here at Patriot Pacific, we're always beating everybody over the head with, "Hey, do the right thing, go the extra mile, be the problem solver," and particularly for our veterans, right, that really deserve to own and to see that you came in and you took a mess and and turned it into a closing. That's super. In closing, what message, just from what you went through with these two agents, in closing, I mean, you're a veteran yourself. You deal with VA loans all the time. What message do you have to real estate agents on their choice of loan officer for helping their veteran buy a home?
just make sure you have one educated in it. And if they aren't educated, you need to be educated. Everybody has access to the VA lender's handbook, and it never
Mm.
hurts to know enough of every loan product. Like, if you, real estate agent,
Yeah.
lender, or otherwise, if you're going to work on a loan product, know your loan product. If you're going to work with a certain type of client, know that client, know what they're going to need, because the VA loan, well, any loan, but the VA loan heavily relies on um a real estate agent and the lender working together
Mm,
and knowing what's going
mm,
on. So
mhm, mhm,
her, like, if she would have um known her loan product and known her client, then by the time everything was over to the lender, she could have been like, "Hey, I know that the VA shouldn't be taking this long. What is going on? Why
mm.
is this happening? You guys need to tell me what's going on." And it's
Danielle, this is great. I appreciate you giving us such insight. And you got room for some more VA buyers or what?
all the time. All the time. I love it.
Good, good.
I always get very involved with my borrowers, and I like to make sure they are set
Mm.
and ready to go and have the perfect dream house that they've always wanted.
Well, hey guys, you guys are watching this. Danielle's contact information's on the screen. She herself is a Marine Corps veteran. She'd love to help you. And as you just heard, I mean, she can handle just about any situation, right? And
Yeah.
use her knowledge of the VA home loan product to get it done. So, Danielle, thank you for your service. Thank you for your skill and for helping this particular veteran get home. It's awesome. And I know you'll be doing the same thing next week, next month, next year. So, more power
Thank
to
you,
you.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.